The truth about getting sober in the system, it ain't gonna be easy. Why? Because now you're just stuck in one spot, in one cell, or in one dorm with other people using. Especially if your cellie uses or your bunkie uses, it's gonna be even more challenging. And that's why a lot of people out here, family members, and think that a lot of the people in there are sober just because they don't know the true reality. But that's the true test. If you're able to stay sober in there, the chances of you making it out here and staying sober and doing better and changing your life around are gonna be 10 times better. So that's why when you're stuck in a cell, that's the time that you really need to decide to make the change. Because if you don't make the change there and then, you are never going to make it. I could just almost guarantee that you're going to just end up back in that cell. So might as well get used to it. But personally, that's why I decided that I'm not going to be part of that statistic of people that are always going in and out. I could have been super easy because everyone in my circle wanted me to return to that circle when I got out. But I chose not to. And even when I was in the system, I chose not to. I knew the things that took me under, so I stayed away from those things. And yeah, people say, well, you're not completely sober, you still drank and you still smoke weed. But those weren't my downfall. And even though I'm not like preaching sobriety just because, I was still doing other things, but I knew what my downfall was. I knew what my weaknesses were. And it wasn't those things. It was always being on the go. So for me to slow down, that was the real difficult part for my life. So that is what kept me out. I got rid of that. So these downers for me helped me out. And that's not going to be the same thing for everybody. And I don't encourage people to do what I did. But I'm just telling you what worked for me. So that's why I always tell people, you really want to take in consideration what works for you. If your addiction tendency is just anything that's around, stay away from everything. If your addicted tendency is just to do what other people around you are doing, stay away from people. Until you have the mental strength and the mental clarity to be able to make decisions that are actually logical, and you're going to be able to be like, you know what? I'm not going to do it just because I have too much to lose. And that's why me personally, I don't mess around with anything nowadays. I hardly drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. The reason why is just because I have so much to lose. I need to have a clear mindset. And that's why I always tell people, you have to know what part of your life you're in. And you have to know what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to do also. Because at the end of the day, you need to make the decision of what you want for your life. And if you want to stay sober, if you want to stay clean, and if you want to get out of the system and do good and not be a statistic and all these people that are already saying that, that you're going to just go back into the system, if you want to prove them wrong, do it. Start right now. Even before you go in. Start right now if you are in the system and you're watching this. Or if you're a family member, talk to your loved one that's inside the system if you can't send them this message. Because at the end of the day, there's so much life out here, man. There's so much things to do. Is it difficult? Yeah, man. You got to go to work every day. You got to, grind. You not live off of just handouts. You got to make a decent living, you got to put in the work. But anything is possible. You just got to put in the work. As simple as that. And in there, a lot of handouts are given, so they get used to those handouts. So that's why I say, man, if you are in the system and you're listening to this, stay clean. Because I could guarantee your mindset will change, your physique will change, your circle will change, and you'll see things a lot better in life. Let's go.